channel. I am the inkednortherner, or as I will be known for this video, the two hat in the hat. Today I decided to do sort of a branch off from my gaming and go back to looking at films, especially with the Christmas period coming up. So I just decided I'd look over what I consider my top 10 films and work from there. First of all though, I want to show off this amazing advent calendar that my missus got me for Christmas. It's quite a large box, as you can see. It's an official Brewdog advent calendar. Now, I'm in two minds what to do with it, whether to kind of save up the beers as they come out and review them one by one on video, or just save them up and drink them when I'm doing other videos. If anybody's got any ideas on how, you know, if you'd want to see sort of what beers come in this Brewdog advent calendar, then hit me up in the comments and let me know. So yeah, what we'll do is I'll put this away. I'll do a quick jump cut so that I can put this away, and then I'll come straight back with the films. See you in a second. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, technically for the second time, because the first time I did this I had issues with delays in audio and video. We have notes on the films that I'm going to be talking about. Let me just get my notes in order, and we will start with the films. So, as I said, this is a sort of top 10 list, but it's not the top 10 that a lot of people would consider. This is what I consider to be my top 10 Christmas films. They are generally in no real particular order, apart from what I would say is my number one. However, I have numbered them 10 to 1 just to make it easier. So the first film up, we have Bad Santa, starring Billy Bob Thornton. It was made in 2003, I think. Essentially, he is a con man, and he works with his little helper, as they title him in the film, I believe, and they are attempting to rob a department store in the US. However, they run into problems, and then Billy Bob Thornton befriends a child, and hilarity ensues. So, I mean, a lot of people may not like it. I personally think it's a great film. The sequel wasn't the best, however, it was still okay. I will definitely be watching this and the rest of these 10 during the Christmas period. So, moving on from number 10, we have another film from 2003, and that is Will Ferrell, starring in Elf. The film was directed by Jon Favreau, who plays Happy Hogan in the Iron Man films. He was also in Friends, I believe, and he is a director also. Will Ferrell plays sort of an adult human, a human bit child who was abandoned and was brought up in the North Pole by Santa's elves. It's funny to begin with, seeing all the things that Will Ferrell does in the small furniture and stuff, given that he is quite a large person. But the real fun of it all begins when he goes to New York to try and find his real dad, who is played by James Caan. That's essentially where all of the fun sort of begins, and obviously everybody remembers the Santa's coming. I'm not going to do the impression, but everybody will remember that if they've seen the film. Again, may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I still enjoy it. Moving on to a slightly older film for number 8, we have Home Alone, which was made in 1990, starring Macaulay Culkin as a 9-year-old Kevin. Kevin's accidentally left at home when his parents go on vacation, they're not very good parents leaving their children at home, um, but yeah. So essentially, Kevin does what every child wants to do when when the parents aren't around. He bounces on beds. He pretends he has a shave as such. Wears his dad's aftershave. Goes into his brother's room, etc. Um, the these things all change when um, the burglars, who are played by Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern, um, try to break into the house and rob the house, and Kevin has to thwart them. I can't remember. I think they're called the Sticky Bandits in the first one, and then the Wet Something Bandits in the sequel. But anyway, the Kevin lays different traps, and they fall for it left, right, and centre, and it is just hilarious. It's still funny to this day. The acting's not the best. Joe Pesci's great in it, but the acting isn't the best. But it's still a very, very fun film to catch at Christmas. Next up is a film that I mentioned in my Halloween special, so that will probably give it away. It's the 1993 Nightmare Before Christmas. This film is perfect to watch either at Christmas or during Halloween, or any time really. A lot of people heavily associate this film with Tim Burton, and with good reason. However, Tim Burton didn't actually direct the film. The film was directed by Henry Selick, who directed Monkey Bone. He also directed the other the other two animated films that I can think of, Coraline and James and the Giant Peach. Again, Nightmare Before Christmas, I said a lot about it at the start of on the Halloween special, so I'm not going to go into deep detail about it, but it is a fantastic film with amazing music. There is even a Marilyn Manson version of This Is Halloween, which is fantastic to listen to. So that was number 7. Let's pull notes over for 6 and 5, so I know which order they come in. Number 6 is a film that was actually released 17 days before I was born. It's the 1983 Trading Places. It's directed by John Landis and stars Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy, who play a stockbroker and a homeless person respectively. Their lives are then switched based on a bet by I can't remember the names of the characters. Winslow and something. I can't remember the name off of the top of my head. They're played by Don Amici and Ralph Bellamy. So essentially, Eddie Murphy becomes the stock trader, and Dan Aykroyd's life's ruined, and he's turned into the bum. There's a great supporting cast, as I say. I mentioned already Don Amici and Ralph Bellamy, but you've also got Denholm Elliott in there, and the very, very young and very, very pretty Jamie Lee Curtis. The film itself is I really enjoy it. It's fun to watch. There's some scenes in it that are probably not going to stand the test of time, and there's probably scenes in there now that shouldn't be. Maybe scenes of Dan Aykroyd blacking up and things like that. But it is what it is. It's a thing of the past. It's a great film. I still enjoy it. Moving on to number 5, we have the 1992 classic Muppets Christmas Carol. So the Muppets, this is the Muppets' take on I always say Louis Stevenson, but it's not. It's I always say Lewis Carroll, but it's not Louis Stevenson. I think I'm thinking Robert Louis Stevenson there, who actually made a train, I believe. It's actually a Charles Dickens classic novel. Stars Michael Caine, who plays Ebenezer Scrooge. The film's great. There's a lot of physical comedy that you expect from a Muppets film. A lot of good musical numbers. The film itself, even, I believe, when Michael Caine was filming scenes with the Muppets, he had to walk on rafters, because obviously they needed to take the floor out to allow for the Muppeteers, as they call themselves, the puppeteers, to to play the Muppets. Rizzle and Rat, I think. Is it Rizzle and Rat? No, Rizzle and Gonzo are the two narrators. Kermit plays. I can't remember the name of the character. Tiny Tim's dad, Bob Cratchit, and Miss Piggy plays his wife. The film is a great film, kids classic, and a great film to watch at Christmas again. So moving on to number 4, we have a film that is probably one of the most heartwarming films to watch at this time of year. It's a fantastic film. It was directed by Frank Capra, and stars Jimmy Stewart, who plays George Bailey. He's a businessman who's down on his luck, and he is contemplating suicide on Christmas Eve. An angel then comes and shows him what life would be like without him. That changes his whole outlook. As I say, it's massively heartwarming, and for a film from the 1940s, it deals with mental health before mental health would have been considered as a major thing. I highly recommend, if anybody has not seen it, to see it. Don't be put off by the fact that it's majority black and white. It is absolutely great film. Even sometimes brings a tear to my stone brick heart. But yeah, no, it's a great film, and there's not much more I can say about it other than watch it. We'll move on to number 3. This is actually the third film in the iteration of these, but it's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, made in 1989. It stars Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, and Randy Shitters Full Quaid as Uncle Eddie. There was a sequel with Uncle Eddie in it that wasn't very, very good. The film also features 2 really young stars. I say stars, one of them's a TV star now and one's faded into obscurity as far as I can tell, but it was the really young Juliette Lewis, who went on to star in things like Natural Born Killers and From Dusk Till Dawn, and also starred Johnny Galecki, who is better known as Leonard in The Big Bang Theory, and also starred in Roseanne as Darlene's boyfriend, but I can't remember his name. I think it was David, but I haven't seen Roseanne in years, and I haven't even bothered watching the new ones. So yeah, that was number 3. Now, number 2, again, is another film that could arguably be watched at both Christmas and Halloween. I was 1 year old when this film came out. It was made in 1984, and that's Gremlins. So it's set around, initially starts with a dad who's an inventor who goes out to try, when he's out selling his goods, he tries to find his son the ultimate Christmas present. He finds him a new pet, but that new pet comes with some really strict rules. Obviously these rules get broken and all hell breaks loose. Gremlins is a fantastic film. What I really, really enjoyed. I enjoyed the sequel as well. It was directed by Joe Dante. He directed the sequel, and it was produced by Amblin Entertainment, which is Steven Spielberg's company, but I believe Spielberg was only executive producer on it. So yeah. What I would consider my number 1 Christmas film, and a lot of people would argue that it's not a Christmas film. I maintain that it's definitely a Christmas film. It has a Christmas setting, it centers around a Christmas party, and it's 1988's Die Hard. It is definitely a Christmas film. I mean, what's not to love? You got action, comedy, Christmas setting, and the amazing Alan Rickman as the bad guy, Hans Gruber. I'm firmly in the camp that it is a Christmas film, and it is the number 1 Christmas film for me. So that was the what I consider my top 10. There are a couple of honourable mentions that I would give. First one would be Scrooge, starring Bill Murray. I would then put two films together as one. That is The Miracle on 34th Street. Both of the films are very, very good to watch at Christmas, obviously. You then have The Santa Claus, starring Tim Allen. I would put, despite a lot of people not liking it when we were watching one of the guys' live streams, VHS Bootleggers live streams with Arnie, I would put Jingle All the Way on that list. Jingle All the Way starring Arnie and Sinbad. And then finally, you've got to watch Batman Returns at Christmas. It's a film that's set in a Christmas period, and it has Batman in it. I can't really say much more. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's my top 10 Christmas films. If there's anything you think I missed, hit me up in the comments. If you've got any ideas of what I should do with the Brewdog Advent Calendar that I've got, then again, drop me a note in the comments, and I'll see which way we go with it. All that's left for me to do is thank you for watching. I have been the Ink Northerner, or as I said at the start, the Two Hat in the Hat, and I'll catch you on the next one.